you and welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to go in and create this makeup look right here using the Fairytale Storybook Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. And if you're interested to continue with this fairy tale, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. Ring the bell button right here for next week notification. I post on YouTube every single Wednesday and also a shorter version on Instagram, IGTV every single Friday. And with that said, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel at bella.c.snow. Okay, let's continue with the story. What? Okay guys, so just to start out this makeup look, I went in and used the Embryolisse moisturizer to moisture and hydrate my face. This is my favorite moisturizer using for makeup. And next up, I went in to use the primer that I'm using today. It's called Pure. This one I used a few vlogs ago and I end up loving it because it's going to give you more hydrated skin. Since I have a little bit more normal to sometimes drier skin, just gonna keep my skin more hydrated and make all my makeup go in a little bit more better. And this is a 4-in-1 corrector primer from Pure. And before we go in and just start this the eyeshadow makeup look for this makeup book, I think I'm gonna put the timestamp right here just in case if you want to jump to that timestamp to start on the eyeshadow makeup. But we're gonna start in with the foundation makeup first this week. So if you're interested in watching the foundation routine, keep on watching. But if you're interested in jumping into the eye makeup routine, jump to the timestamp right here. It's so cold in LA today, so I'm having like tea while I'm doing this vlog. So hopefully that's gonna keep me warm throughout the night. Okay, let's start on this foundation. So the foundation I'm going to use today is from ORCÉ Cosmetics. I also have a vlog with this one, so I'm going to leave the vlog right down here so you can see the review on this foundation. It's my new favorite foundation, so I've been using this foundation like almost every day, and they did send me like another bottle, so I bought this one and then they sent me another one, a lighter color to use for my winter color. So now I have two, which is nice because I can just switch them up. And the color I'm going to use today is actually the darker one, the one called Novae right here in Novae. So this is the darker shade. So this one you don't really need a lot, so I'm just going to practically use like a pump and a half, and just going to cover my whole face, and I'm practically not going to use all of that. And to applying that foundation, I'm using the Sephora bronzer brush. This is the bronzer brush number 46. This is technically using for bronzer, but I love how fluffy and dense it is, so I'm going to use this one for foundations. And I love how hydrating this foundation is. Like again, my winter skin is kind of dry or sometimes dehydrated, so I'm using this foundation to keep my skin more hydrated throughout the day. And also I noticed this lasts really long throughout the day also, and it just practically stick in there, and you don't really need to set it with a powder if you have a little bit more drier skin. I do tend to set a lot with powder because that's kind of like a habit now that I always have to set my foundation with a powder, because throughout the day I feel like my skin just get oily or greasy. And that's practically my first layer of foundation, and as you can see I still have like a lot of foundation left from that 1.5-ish pump. So I might use this later after I put on a little bit more concealer, but now we're just going to move on to concealer. But first let me clip this hair up before it's driving me crazy. So I'll be back. So now let's move on to concealer. This concealer I'm using this, we're actually going to jump in with two different concealers. The first one I'm going to go in is going to be the Born This Way concealer right here, and the color I'm using is in Nude. So with the color Nude concealer from Too Faced, I'm just going to put a little bit underneath right here, a little bit over there, under my eyes. So this is going to help brightening my under eye a little bit more. And lately I have a little bit more darker circle on the side, so I'm just going to put this on the side, a little bit on my cheek, my forehead. And because I want the bridge of my nose to be a little bit more brighter, so I've been trying out this Hourglass new Vanish concealer, and I feel the color I'm grabbing is in Cotton. and I feel like it's a little bit too light for my skin tone, and sometimes it could go out a little bit more too grayish if it's just gonna get a little bit, if the concealer get a little bit too light compared to your skin. So this is too light for my skin, but I want a little bit more brighter on the bridge of my nose. So I'm just gonna use this really lightly to draw a really straight thin line from my center highlight on my nose contouring. I'm just gonna let that dry for a little bit. And lately I like to use my brush to blend in with my concealer, because I feel like for some reason it gives you a little bit more fuller coverage rather than go on straight on with the beauty blender to blend it out. Sometimes the beauty blender can make it a little bit too cakey, I feel. So now I'm just gonna go in and blend everything out with like a brush, and the brush I'm using is actually the Sephora Airbrush Concealer Brush number 57. I'm just going to use the concealer brush to blend out everything. I'm just focusing wherever I want my concealer to be. And honestly, I feel like that might be a little bit too much concealer right there. And after I blend out my cream concealer, I'm just going to leave that line right there for it to dry down a little bit. And I'm going to blend it in after I put on my cream contouring. So now I'm just going to go in with a damp beauty blender and lightly press everything in to make sure it's blend into my complexions. And after I blend that out, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the leftover foundation, just to like a little bit on my cheek, just to balance out that brightness and the foundation colors. And I usually like to put on a light layer of foundation after I put on my concealer, because I don't want to have like bam, a little too bright concealer right under the eye. So now I'm just going to put on the foundation color right on top to kind of help blend it out and neutralize and blend everything a little bit more better, even though the under eye is still going to be bright, but it's not going to be like popping bright compared to like the outer side of your complexion's color, because sometimes it could be too bright. And for that little glow from within, I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter number 4. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my cheek area, a little bit more on my forehead, because mostly I want my cheek area right here to glow and not anywhere else. So I'm just going to focus all the glow from right there. It's going to create more like inner glow from within rather than more like highlighting glow with this product. And then for cream contouring, I'm just going to go in with the Tarte Pro Glow palette right here. So it does come in with like a different color highlight. And under this one color right here is have more like a cream based contouring, which I love. This is actually like my second palette. I've been using this one for a while, so this is my second palette right here. Okay, so now with my Sephora Flawless Airbrush brush number 56, this is more like a foundation brush. It's really dense. It's going to give you a little bit more fuller coverage with the foundation, but I'm just going to go in and tap really lightly into that Tarteist Glow Cream contouring. I'm going to dust up a little bit extra on my hand because I don't want to go in too much, and the color is in shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right under where my cheekbone is to create a little bit more contouring line. And just a little bit go a long way with this product, because everything is really concentrated and my cheekbone is really like kind of sharp already. So I don't want to go in with too much contouring underneath, and it just end up looking too sharp sometimes. So I'm just going to go in really lightly. And sometimes there's like a hollow right here of your cheek that doesn't take a lot of products. So instead of doing your face like this, to do your contouring, just smile like this. So that part kind of like pop up. So you can get a little bit more straighter line when you like smile rather than do like the duck face when you do the contouring. Because mostly when you smile, that's where your contouring gonna show up anyway, rather than because you don't do like duck face all the time when you do like contouring. So sometimes the contouring might look a little bit more wonky if you do more like duck face rather than do a smiling face when you do contouring. So just smile when you do contouring rather than doing the duck face. I'm just gonna get whatever the accent is right here to put on my forehead also, because I don't want to be a little bit too much contouring on my forehead either. And I love how this brush you can just like stamp a straight line and go on upward wherever is left there. I'm gonna do my jawline contouring, If you notice that my my highlighting concealer is still there, so I'm gonna blending it in after I finish this step from cream contouring. So now with a brush from Kat Von D brushes number 40, is have a little bit more like a flat edge right here. So it's gonna be really easy for you to like just stamp and blending out your nose contouring. And again, just use a really little bit with the nose contouring with this one. And then with that, the end of the brush, just go ahead and do a little stamp and blend it slightly downward. And now with light fluffy brush, this is actually more like eyeshadow brush. I'm just gonna use that to blending out my nose contouring, the cream contouring. So using it, I feel like using the brush can give you a little bit more precision. So I've been using this technique for like the last few weeks, and I end up loving it. Because sometimes when you're blending out with like your nose contouring with the beauty blender, it could get the beauty blender could get a little bit too big for you to blend out the nose contouring. So just go in and use more like a brush, a fluffy brush, to blend out that cream contouring. And just remember, the easiest way to blending it out is using more or less synthetic brush, so the cream doesn't really like soak into your brush fiber, because natural hair fiber tend to like soak liquid products. And now that my nose contouring is also blended out, I'm gonna go in with more like smaller fluffier brush. So this is the Morphe M456 brush. I'm just gonna use this one to kind of slightly blending out that nose contouring on the center where you put in the Hourglass Vanish concealer, the brighter concealer, because I want it to be a little bit more brighter on my nose bridge. Later it's gonna pop a little bit more. You can always go back and forth with the other brush to make sure that it's blending out the edge, so you don't get like really harsh line with that nose contouring. Make all the line really diffuse. And another thing I might like to do is to brighten out my just right there a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in again with the Hourglass Vanish concealer. So with just a little bit, I'm just gonna press like 2 little dots right in there, just to brightening just in that corner right in there, rather than using my whole eye. Go back in with the concealer brush right here that you used before and just blend that in to give your eyes slightly brighter. And with that, you can always go more or less straight line on the side of your nose contouring to create a little bit more pinched nose. And now since my foundation is still wet, I'm gonna go in and trying this new thing from Maybelline. I think you probably heard about it, Cheek Heat. So I grabbed this from like Target like a few days ago, and actually the guy forgot to put it all back. So Andre did went in and got another one for me. So this one is number 15 Nude Burn. So this is more like a cream blush. I normally don't like cream, but this one is really good one. So you just need to put a little bit on the back of your hand like this. A little bit go a long way. And you can always use your foundation brush. I'm just gonna go in with more like a stipple brush right here, and just go like this on the back of your hand using the stipple brush. Just deposit out the blush right in here. And this is really sheer also, so don't be afraid that it's gonna look too dark, because it's gonna blend out really easily. So just mild, and I'm just gonna put on wherever I normally put my cheek right here, and bring it upward towards my contouring. That's just gonna create more like that burn look, and more like cheek contour, cheek blush that blend into your contouring really nicely. And now I'm just gonna go in and set everything down. I'm gonna go in using 2 different powder. The first one I'm gonna go in is the cult favorite, the Laura Mercier translucent powder right here. So this one is the one that doesn't have any color in it. Laura Mercier does come out with like 2 or 3 different translucent powder color. And this one is the one that doesn't have any color. So I'm just gonna swirl my brush in there. Just a little bit. Barely anything. So I'm going to use this translucent color to use to set for my under eye. So after I set out my bright area, I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, and the color I'm using is in number 2. Since this has like more like a color in it, I'm gonna use this for my outer perimeter, where I want have a little bit more contouring, more darker shade. And it's okay if you're using this for like all over but I just feel like it's kind of sometimes it's turned my under eye a little bit more darker than I wanted, so I'm just going to use this one to set on my outer perimeter since it has a slight color in it. Now for bronzer, I'm just going to go in with the Becca bronzer right here. Ooh. Becca color right here, and the color I'm using is in Caprice Coast. I'm going to use like a really big fluffy Sephora brush right here. Actually this is Morphe brush number M106. I'm going to swirl that right in there. Dust off the excess and just focus more like the end point of my cheek. So I'm just do more like a stamping motions. And focus on the outside perimeter again wherever I put my contouring. So this has like my warmer shade, so it's gonna warm up my face a little bit more because contourings tend to be a little bit more in more like a grayish tone to create more like a shadow. And this is just gonna warm up your face a little bit more, so yeah, just use a little bit of it. And definitely don't forget to bronze your neck also. I'm just gonna use more like this. Gonna be the Morphe ME62. This is actually my new favorite for nose powder contouring because it has more like an angle right here for you to do a clean swoop for nose contouring. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of bronzer, dust off the excess, and I'm just gonna define that nose contouring just a little bit more. And now that I got all my powder contouring in there, I'm just gonna help neutralize and mute everything down and make everything more like one layer. So I'm going to go in with more like rose water. So this is the Vinsati rose water with pomegranate that I've been using lately. And you just spray. And with that, it's going to keep my skin more hydrated as I continue to do my makeup. Okay, so now that my complexion is done, and welcome for those who hop and skip to this timestamp to start on the eyeshadow makeup, you naughty. So okay, let's move into the eyeshadow makeup look. So we're gonna go in and using this booklet right here. So I got this booklet from the BOXY Charm box review, so I'm gonna link that video right down below so you can go in and watch that after this video or the video. So this one is from Once Upon a Time Fairytale Storybook Cosmetics. It is super cute. If you look at their website, they have like different type of booklet and everything look like a book right here. It's more like a fairy tale, based on a fairy tale book. So this one is from Little Briar Rose. I haven't read the book of this story, so I don't know what's going on. Like at first look at the cover, I thought it was like Sleeping Beauty or like something. But it's super cute. The back looking like this. And again, I think I want to order every single booklet, so I have like a whole set of like old school book because I love to have like a lot of books around and like a bookshelf with old school booklet. That would be so cute. So when you open the book, the storybook like this, come out with all the color like this right here. Ooh, it is super cute. So it's very colorful, very fantasy. So here is the first 6 colors that I swatched. So far the matte color doesn't have a lot of pigment in it, but it does show up. So you might just need to pack a few layers into the color for it to show up a little bit more better. For all the metallic color actually showed up really well and have really higher pigment. So I can't wait to try this one also. And again, here is the other last 6 color that I swatched that you can see on my hand, how it's gonna show up. And again, just like the first 6, the matte doesn't show up that well. The metallic show up really well with super higher pigment, and the last color have more like golden shift to that berry color. So it's super nice also. And I forgot to tell you that when you open this booklet right here, beside all the color right here, it does have more like a mirror, a large size mirror on this side for you to do your makeup on. And it have a little bit more like the cover right here. Clean mirror, so nice. Okay, now let's start with the eye makeup look. The first step I'm gonna go in is gonna use an eyeshadow base because some of the formulation in here doesn't have a lot of pigment. So I'm gonna go in with the P. Louise base. The color I'm using is in 01 Rumor. So now that my eyelid is neutralized with the P. Louise, the first color I'm going to go in is more like a neutral color. The first color I'm going to dip my brush in is going to be the woodland color, since that's more like a neutral color. So I'm going to use more like a fluffy brush and just brush that all over my lid. And usually I like to use my fingers to do this one, but since this formulation is a little more lighter and you can't really see it, so I'm going to use more like a fluffier brush to help blending out every color. So honestly, I don't know which color I'm going to use because there's so many different variation, different color combination you can use with this palette. You can go really bright, really neutral, really metallic. So let's just go around playing with it. I was really interested in the color Spindle, so I'm going to dip into the color Spindle next because it doesn't really have more like a brownish color. So I'm going to use that as more like my transition color for the Spindle. So again, I'm going to use that on my outer edge and kind of shade that into my crease. This color, even though it doesn't really show up when you swatch with your finger, when you use more like a fluffier brush, it showed up super nice. Look at it. It's super pinky, and you know how much I love more like pink color. It's so cute. So I'm gonna drag that all the way into my inner socket. I'm kind of obsessed with this color Spindle. It's super cute. I feel like it's gonna be like perfect shade for like a bridal, natural bridal makeup look. You still have that slight color, a kiss of color, or more like a watercolor. But it's really super soft. And the next color I'm gonna go in is the color Thorn. Like, I don't know what's this color I'm gonna turn out. I'm just curious what's the shade gonna turn out after I put it on top. So I'm just gonna dip my brush into Thorn. And again, I'm just gonna lay a light layer right on the outer corner because it's a little bit more cooler than the other shade. It's more like a contouring shade. It's super pretty also. Even though it looks like a bruise if you're just watching it alone, but if you lay it on top of the like a monochromatic purpley color, it is super nice. And now I'm just gonna go in with more like a flat brush right here. I'm gonna dip to the color Spindle, and with that color I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little bit more shadow from my bottom lash line, and I'm just gonna swipe it up to pull my eye up a little bit more, so that's gonna give your eye a little bit more lift. Just more like a flat brush, go under your lashes and do more like a straight line upward. That can kind of bring your eye up a little bit more and kind of like pull more out, more like a fox eye. And with that flat brush again, I'm gonna dip the tip into the color Thorn. I'm gonna put that, saturate that on my outer corner of my bottom lash line also. So whatever I'm doing the same on the top, I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom. And with a clean fluffy brush, I'm just gonna go in and brush and blend everything out. And now I'm going to go in with a really small precision brush. This is the Sephora number 18 precision brush. So I'm going to use the flat brush and press into the color Thorn. I'm actually going to color in this in the corner right here because I want to do more like a halo on the center, a little bit more brighter on the center of the eye rather than my normal cut crease. And now with a Morphe brush number M456, it's a smaller fluffy brush. I'm gonna slightly deep into the color Grwm to make the shade slightly more darker. So again, this color probably have a lot of more pigment, so just dip a little bit, dust up all the excess, and lightly tap it right on top of your eyelid. I'm just gonna go ahead and push that into my crease also. And with a fluffy brush right here that you use the first color for Brimstone, for Woodland, just gonna go in and blending out all the edges. And with that tiny small precision brush again, I'm gonna dip into the color Brim to color my inner corner, leaving the center empty, and use that brush to really press on the outer corner of the eye also to make it really defined. And again, just blend everything out. And with a flat brush, I'm just gonna do the same thing on my bottom lash line and press that right into the edges of my bottom lash line. Deepen that shade with color Brim. And now with a small synthetic brush and combine with the P. Louise base, I'm just gonna go in and use that to cut my center crease really quick. this, you don't have to do this step. Also, you can just use your finger to go straight to the color, but I want the color to pop a little bit more better, so I'm just gonna do one neutral straight line to clean up the edge right here on the center to make sure everything pop a little bit more better when I put on the metallic shade. So I'm gonna go in with the color Castle, more like a baby bluish tone. So I'm gonna saturate my flat brush right there, and I'm just gonna press the color Castle right on the center and blending out all the edges. And actually when you're applying this on top of the other color, it's gonna create more like that shift from all the purple and all the pink colors, create more like magical-ish color, I would say. Just kind of create that pinkish purple shift right on your eyelid. And just saturate that a little bit more. I'm just gonna go in with my finger and slightly tap right on top. And to pop that center out a little bit more, I'm gonna go in with the same flat brush. I'm gonna dip into the color Fairies. It's more like a metallic blue tone silver, so I'm just gonna really just concentrate that right on the center only. So we're gonna create more like that cold metallic blue. You know what this color remind me of? It's kind of remind me of the color of the dress of the fairy godmother in Cinderella, when she does all the magic with boppity boo bitty bop thingy.
Salagadoola, menchikaboola, bibbidi bobbidi boo.
And now I'm just gonna leave the eyeshadow right there. Now I'm just gonna go in and do a tight line, and I'm gonna go in with the Morphe color pencil. This color is called Midnight to do my tight lining. So I love this one because you can actually sharpen the pencil and gonna give you a little bit more sharper point for you to do your tight line and your cat eyes. So now I'm just gonna swipe that really quick, really close to my lash line. And lately I love using like a pencil rather than just go straight in with the powder for my tight line also. Is define my eyes a little bit more and stay longer throughout the day, and you kind of have a little bit more control of it. And after I finished tight line top line, I'm just gonna go in and pull out the bottom wing liner starting from the edge. Look straight forward and pull. And then with that, you're just gonna connect it to the rest and draw kind of like a triangle. Depends on your eye shape. And then with that, you got a wing liner. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. So now I'm just gonna leave my eye makeup right there. Now I'm just gonna go in and finish up my brows, and I'll be right back to finishing off the lip and the rest of the makeup. So I'll be right back. So I am back with this makeup look right here. So I did pop on my brows and contacts, and I did go ahead and put on my lips. And the lip liner that I went in to use was actually from the Morphe lip color, and the color is in Sweet Tea. So I just got this like a few weeks ago, and I rarely use this one. So it's a little bit more like a darker vampire brown color, but we're gonna neutralize that out a little bit. So the lip color, we're gonna neutralize that out, is actually from the I Love Sarah E liquid lipsticks. This is more like a matte liquid lipsticks from I Love Sarah E collaboration with Colourpop. So when you open the package, you see like this. It's super cute. And here is the color. So with the Sweet Tea lip liner from Morphe, I'm just gonna put this in right on the center to line up that down a little bit more. And I love this color from Nude lipstick. So the formulation is extra hydrating, even though it's more like a matte liquid lipsticks. If you're comfortable, like a lot of liquid lipstick feel really dry when you put it on. You feel like it's sucking out all the moisture from your lip, but this one actually feel very comfortable. After I put on my brows, I did go ahead and put on a little bit of mascara, also curl my lashes and put on mascara. And the mascara I did use is from the Better Than Sex mascara. It's a cult favorite. That's going to give you more lengthening and voluming at the same time. So this is my one of my all-time favorite mascara. And for the eye, I did went in and do kind of like a second layer of the same step with my eye makeup. Just make sure I punch up all that color up a little bit more. And then I did go in and put on a little bit more like a black liner right on top. And since this palette doesn't have like a black eyeshadow color, I just went in and used another random black color. So you practically use any other random black color that you have. So now we're just gonna go in with the highlighter. So I'm just gonna go in first with the Bobbi Brown highlighter right here. My favorite one is called Pink Glow. So I love how this highlighter is really sheer. It's more like iridescent, so it doesn't have a lot of glitter pigment on it. And going in with more like a smaller brush right here. Just gonna use that to dust a little bit on the bottom of my brows, and then a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And now I feel like I kind of want to do something a little bit more different with the highlighter. I wanted to have a little bit more like a purple lavender glow to the highlighter. So now I'm just gonna go in and bought this from Artist Couture, highlighting pack, holiday combination pack, whatever. So they have all the mini trial size of the highlighter right in here. And in there they have this like color right here called from Artist Couture, called Supernova. I hope you can see that one. It has like more like a purple tone to it. So I'm just gonna use that to put on my highlight right in here to give it a little bit more like purpley lavender shift to my highlighter. So with the highlighter brush, I'm just gonna dab a little bit into that powder. And then from the highest point of my cheek, I'm just gonna dust that color Supernova. It's had more like a purple shift. So I'm gonna put wherever I put a little bit more highlight for that shift to be like right there. This week lash I'm gonna go in with again the Ardell lashes is number 11. Okay guys, so here is the final makeup look using the Fairytale Storybook Cosmetics, and this book is called Little Briar Rose. For me, on the matte color, it does have a lot of pigment, but still it's really nice that it doesn't have a lot of pigment because you can still layer a lot of different layer and blend it out a little bit more better because of that. So I kind of don't really hate that it doesn't have a lot of pigment. I kind of love it. And one of my new favorite color is actually called the Spindle right here. It is such a nice and perfect color. This is going to be a perfect color for more like a wedding. Rose, Dusty Rose color is one of my favorite color. So overall, I kind of love and obsessed with this storybook. Like the concept is super cute. If you go into the website, they have like different type of booklet with different name like Red Riding Hood. I don't think every single one of them is like an eyeshadow palette. I think some of them is like a set of like liquid lipstick, lip liner, blush, or something like that. So not every single one of them is a eyeshadow palette, but I still want every single one of them to like line along the bookshelf. That would look so cute. So yeah, so that's gonna be the makeup look for this week. Let me know what you think about this makeup look right here. Leave me a comments right down below. And with that said, don't forget to don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. No. With that said, don't forget. And with that said, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. Ring the bell button right here for next week notification. I post on YouTube every single Wednesday and a shorter version on Instagram, IGTV every single Friday. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at bella.c. Bella.c. No, can't even talk today. So okay, I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.